Mixing chemicals for invasive plant management can seem daunting, but today we're going to walk you through the process and show you that it can be easy and safe. Before we get started, remember to always read the label. It is a legally binding document with necessary instructions and safety information, such as required personal protective equipment or PPE. And with that, let's get started.
We're going to demonstrate how to properly mix triclopyr for a backpack sprayer using the amine formula. These same basic mixing principles can be applied to whatever chemical you choose. Just make sure to, again, check the label for the proper amounts, the directions on how to do so, and the PPE.
Speaking of PPE, let's make sure we're dressed properly. The required PPE for the triclopyr amine formula is going to be a long sleeve shirt, long pants, socks, closed-toed shoes, protective eyewear, and chemical-resistant gloves. And now we're ready to go.
First, we need to decide and calculate how much herbicide we'll be mixing for our application purposes. For foliar application of forestry sites using a triclopyr amine product with 44.4 active ingredient on invasive plants, a 2% solution is sufficient and falls within the label recommendations. In order to measure this, we will use the following equation: desired spray volume times percent solution divided by 100. This equals the amount of herbicide required. We're using a backpack sprayer and plan to fill it with 3 gallons of mixed herbicide. So we'll multiply 3 gallons times 2 and divide by 100. This gives us 0.06 gallons. However, this number would be practically impossible to measure in gallons. So instead we will convert it to ounces by multiplying it by 128, which gives us 7.6 ounces. This means we need 7.6 ounces of triclopyr amine to make 3 gallons of spray mixture at a 2% solution.
Now that we know how much herbicide we need, we'll go ahead and add what's called an adjuvant. Adjuvants are just additives that can be added to herbicide mixtures to make them work better or differently. For foliar applications where we are spraying herbicide directly on the leaves of a plant, we want to add a kind of adjuvant called a surfactant. Surfactants will lower surface tension, which helps the herbicide penetrate the plant better and therefore makes foliar applications more effective. Surfactants are highly recommended for best results. Some herbicides already have a surfactant mixed in them, while others will need it added separately. So be sure that you read your label for best instructions.
The next step is making sure we're safe, as mixing chemicals is a time when applicator exposure is more likely to occur, whether to skin, eyes, nose, or mouth. We have the required PPE on. We're also prepared to contain any possible spills with this waterproof mixing bin and a spill kit. Accidents happen, and it's always better to be prepared. You can make your own spill kit with some PPE, cleanup supplies like cat litter or sawdust, trash bags, and a broom and dustpan. We're using beakers to measure our pesticides. You can use whatever liquid measuring container you'd like, but remember that any containers used for measuring pesticides cannot be used for anything else. Make sure to label them properly so they aren't accidentally used for something else. According to the label, we first need to fill our sprayer about halfway with water. Then we'll thoroughly mix in the herbicide and a surfactant. This is also where you'd add a dye if you're using one. The surfactant we're using today is called Sidekick, but there are many different options. Just make sure to look for a non-ionic surfactant when you're shopping. Be sure to triple rinse the measuring containers after each use and pour the rinse water, or rinsate, directly into the spray tank. To finish, you'll fill the remaining amount of tank with water, mix, and then clearly label it with the chemical, the percent of the mixture, and the date. Well, our chemical is mixed, so now we're ready to start treating.
Stay subscribed to the Virginia Department of Forestry YouTube channel for videos demonstrating various treatment methods and plenty of other invasive management education. Good luck, stay safe, and remember, always read the label.